Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Kuat Sherpa 2 bike platform rack right here on our 2014 Toyota Prius V. The Kuat Sherpa is probably one of the best bike racks that checks off all the boxes but does them well. So if you're looking for a nice premium bike rack with that premium Kuat look without being as heavy, as bulky, or as pricey as something like the Kuat NV, that's where the Kuat Sherpa comes in handy. So this is going to be a 2-bike platform rack. You can't expand it to a 4-bike. It is lightweight, and we are going to take a look at the features of this bike rack, but focusing on how it works with the Prius V, just to see if this is the right fit for you, your bicycles, and your vehicle. So we are going to take a look at the first feature, which is the tilt away feature. So we have a lever right over here. You're going to want to pull that lever and just drop this down. And why would you tilt your bike rack away? Well, if you want to access your hatch while keeping your bikes on. So as you can see here on our Prius V, we have plenty of clearance between our door, our pedals, and our handlebars, allowing us to reach into our trunk, grab whatever we need. So whether it's our helmets, our bags, our waters, we can grab them real quick without having to take our bikes off. And then we just lift this back up into place. And just like that, we're ready to hit the road again. We didn't have to take the time to take the bikes off, and we're ready to go. But what kind of bikes can this bike rack fit? Well, this has a weight capacity of 40 pounds per bike, so most of your road bikes, most of your mountain bikes. Your heavy electric bikes though, probably not going to be the best fit for you. If you still want to carry those, you may want to take a look at the Kuat NV instead. But if you have other bikes, like this here is our carbon fiber frame bike, perfectly fine because we have a front wheel mount. So that front wheel mount holds down the bike by its front wheel. So whether you have a step-through frame, a women's frame, a children's frame, or a carbon fiber frame, no worries at all. The second thing holding our bike down is our rear wheel strap. So when we want to take our bike off, we start by pressing the lever on the strap, lifting up on it. And what I like to do is I like to just fold it out of the way of our spokes. Then we're going to go over here to the front. Hold on to your bike as you do so. You press this button here, lift that hook up, push that hook out, and just like that, you're ready to go on a bike ride. With the bike off, we can take a closer look at the bike rack itself. So we have this rear cradle. Notice how this tilts back and forth to accommodate different wheelbases. So the maximum wheelbase you can carry with this is up to 47 inches. So just like our rear wheel cradle, we also have grooves on our front wheel cradle for the different tire widths. The maximum tire width you can carry with this is up to 3 inches. And notice how this folds down to be all nice and neat. And we already talked about how the front wheel mount can help out with bikes of different shapes and sizes because of how this secures that front wheel. And when your bike is off, you can fold this down to the side as well, so everything has this nice look. Remember, we have different color options for the Kuat Sherpa. This is going to be gray with those orange accents. We can also get this in metallic black or pearl. In fact, I think pearl would look nicer with a trim like this on our Prius V. The Prius V is a little bit longer than a normal Prius vehicle, so when you want to talk about length of the entire thing, we're going to take some measurements to see how much does our bike rack add to the Prius V. So from the bumper to the end of the bike rack, it sits at about 32 inches. So that's going to be a measurement to keep in mind whenever you're backing into your garage or trying to park into a really tight spot. Don't forget that you have a bike rack as well as bikes behind you. Comparing this though to the Kuat Transfer, it is definitely more compact. Now our ground clearance is going to be from under the bike rack to the ground 19.5 inches, 20 inches at the very end. Compare that measurement though to where our shank is, and that's about 11 inches to the ground. So ground clearance is important. When you go up those really steep inclines like your driveways or hills, your front will go up, your back will go down, and this shank rise is nice because then our bikes are sitting a little bit higher up off the ground. Now, what if you're not planning on taking your bikes out for a ride, but you also don't want to take your bike rack off? What you can do is fold this up into the portable or compact position. To do so, you have that lever we used earlier. Pull that lever again, but this time push up, and then it locks into place in the folded position. Notice how smooth that movement was. Pretty much everything the Sherpa does is a smooth movement compared to other bike racks. Let's take some measurements though to see the difference this makes. Closest point is going to be from our bumper to the front wheel mount, and that's 4.5 inches away. Plenty of clearance there. Length now added to the back of our vehicle is bumper to end of tray, about 8 inches. It does sit out a bit further by this anti-rattle knob though, so that's 14 inches of length. Big difference compared to when this was folded down. You'll definitely want it in this position when you're just planning on driving around town, or if you need extra clearance to park into your garage. But what is it like living with a bike rack behind your vehicle? For one, this looks really, really good on the back of our Prius V. But other than that, if you're sitting on the inside, you'll notice how your rear window will be completely visible, so that's great. Our taillights are obviously visible as well. Now our license plate does kind of sit where that front wheel mount is, and our backup camera, while offset to the left, is right over there. So you'll still be able to see out of your rear view camera the view behind you, since you have a pretty good lens or angle on that, but this will be in the way. If that's going to be a major issue for you, you can just very easily step on this lever, drop this down, and you'll be able to drive around with this visible. So there's two different options for hitch receivers on the Prius V. You might have a 2-inch hitch receiver, which is what I have, or an 1.25-inch hitch receiver. So depending on those, you can get the Kuat Sherpa with different shank sizes. Not an adapter, they have their own shank. It's gonna work the exact same way, just with those different options. So I have a 2-inch hitch receiver, so we're using the 2-inch shank version. This pops right into the hitch. You have a hitch pin and a lock. This lock is key to the cable lock that goes around your bikes and secures right into the tray. You can just you get 2 keys and access the entire system with them. So while you get these keys, you don't need to get any wrenches or bolts because it's a tool-free install. You just pop it into your hitch, tighten it down with this knob here. It extends a ball cam on the inside of our hitch. So to demonstrate how that works, I'm gonna shake our bike rack just to simulate that road movement and vibration, and I'm really just moving my car at this point. That's because that connection right there is nice and secure, meaning you're gonna have a smoother ride for your bikes overall because you won't have any added rattle from an improper fit. Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or a pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Now lastly, we're going over some full speed bumps, and we can see here the up and down action, and this will just be like driving in and out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway. My personal thoughts about the Kuat Sherpa is if you have mountain bikes, if you have road bikes, carbon fiber frame bikes, women's bikes, your regular bikes, this is a really good option for you. You get all those premium features like your locks, your tilt away, you get to fold this up, and you get those different color options. For something that looks good, it also works great. Now, if you have extra heavy bikes, I did talk about the Kuat NV earlier as a better option for you. If you want to carry more bikes, you may want to consider the Kuat Transfer instead, because that one you can upgrade to about 4 bikes. But here, this is a great option for 1 to 2 bikes. It's lightweight, it's compact, and it looks good. And that was a look right here at our Kuat Sherpa 2.0 2-bike platform rack on our 2014 Toyota Prius V. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.